the poetic truth underneath it all. And we're looking at the part of it where this young man is at this well and he sees this beautiful woman. It's just like he's tongue-tied. It's like she's so beautiful, and this is this recognition of beauty. And the passage goes on to talk about like, oh yeah, and what is that picture like when we really recognize beauty, when we really see that? How does that work? And again, this is very deep theological language, but the truth underneath it, I think, is pretty easy to understand and offers us some real significant insights into how to move life forward. All right. Goodness is what recognizes the truth that belongs to it, and truth is what recognizes the goodness that belongs to it. So that idea of the art of recognition. So here's this thing we call beauty. And I think so much of life is really seeing the beauty in other people. And that doesn't mean there aren't people that we have to back away from, all that, all that is true. It is sometimes some people make it exceptionally challenging. And so be it. But we're talking about our normal sort of run-of-the-mill relationship and how we really have to work at seeing beauty there. And how do we see that beauty? Well, it's kind of interesting, right? You have this idea of good and truth, sort of the love and wisdom, however you want to say it, faith and charity. You could look at any number of ways. And if you think of it like head and heart, might be another way to see it. But here it's talking in specific, it's specifically talking about truth and goodness, the marriage of the two and how we want to see them. So it's interesting because it says that, the truth in us can see the goodness out there, and it recognizes that. It recognizes the goodness in another person. And then that truth, in other words, how we think about them, attaches to that. We see that goodness. We see that goodness in them. There's the goodness. And then our whole mental paradigm, might be another way of saying it, our whole mental paradigm kind of shifts because we've seen what they do and we've seen the goodness of it. And it's like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And think of something where you saw, unbeknownst to them, just some small little act of kindness. You had a view of someone, life is going on, it's regular sort of Joe or Jane bag of donuts going about their life. And then all of a sudden there's this, oh, wow, I see this goodness in them. I just saw him do something really incredible. And it's oftentimes very small, but like, oh, it just our truth, our mental paradigm totally shifts. And the opposite is true as well. So we can look at the truth. We can look at the truth about someone. Like, I know they will always be loyal, or I know I can always count on them. An example would be, who do you know? I mean, there's probably 3 or 4 people you could call, maybe more, or who you could call at 2:00 in the morning with a flat tire in Cleveland, Ohio, and they'd be, I'm getting in the car right now. I think many of us are blessed with friends and family who do that. And again, there's the truth that you know about them. And then that draws this goodness out and this love, because we can see that. And then the love recognizes this truth over there, and it pulls itself out, and it's that same thing. And the trick is, friends, is our job is just to keep on working at that kind of sight, to keep on looking for the beauty in other people. Sometimes you'll see the beauty in others because you'll notice them doing a very loving thing. And so like that loving part, your mental paradigm will shift because you'll see them do something so beautiful and so sweet, which is great. And then other times it'll flip the opposite way. You'll have something that you know to be absolutely true about them. They are true blue, or whatever you want to call it. And that will draw a certain goodness and a certain love out, but it will also create this experience of beauty. Like, both are paths to beauty. And the trick is, friends, is to reflect on that. Not like we don't have to go overboard with it, but to reflect on that and look at our friends and look at the people we know and be like, oh yeah, I always know this about them, and I've seen them do this kind thing, and I know I can count on them for this thing. So where we've seen them do a good thing, where we can count on them for doing something, and really seeing beauty in that. I mean, it's a lot of the world starts to open up, because I do think that's kind of how angels see it. And I realize it's very thick theological language out of the book Secrets of Heaven. And it points, as all thick theological language does, to very simple things. Doesn't mean they're easy to pull off, but it does mean that they're simple to understand. And that's so much just, our work is taking these very simple things and doing the best we can. So task for today is to see the beauty in others and see it one of 2 ways, and just have at it. Enjoy that as part of your day today. All right, friends. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shift gears. And what we're going to do to have a beautiful ending to today is we're going to do a little meditation. I'm going to ring a prayer bell, and we'll do a little meditation, say the Our Father prayer, and then what we'll do is have a little like blessing, and then we'll say hi to friends who joined us on Facebook. So with that, dear friends, let's get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his face upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's give a little quick, cheery hello there to folks. And again, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead. And by the way, we got a couple of fun events on New Church Live's events page, so I hope you go take a look at those. We have some fun things coming up. All right, nothing on that page. So let's flip over to here. All right, come on, Nelly. Yeah, today the network is exceptionally slow. All right, let's see if this will click a little faster. Sorry about this, folks. All right, flipping on over to there. All right, Linda. Come on, Nelly. All right, there we go. Linda wrote, good morning. True words, thank you for the reminder. And you're welcome. You're welcome, Linda. And I always love that word reminder, right? Like we are reminded. It's like our minds forget. So we need to get a little in there to mind us again. All right, dear friends, listen, God bless all of you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again tomorrow on 10 Minutes.